Alright, Crypto Millennial here, bringing you another video in the Avalanche space. Today, we're going to be looking into a project called Swarms, and as you guessed it, they're built on the Avalanche blockchain. We're going to look at the website, the roadmap, the white paper, and really understand everything about this project. So what exactly is the Swarms project about? Essentially, Swarms portrays a decadent world where genetically modified bees engineered by a rogue AI are sent to terraform Mars. Created on the Avalanche blockchain, 10,000 bees are currently moving to Mars. This is an example of one of the bees. They're going to be 2 AVAX to mint. The mint date is still TBC, so join the Discord and follow them on Twitter to find out exactly when that's going to occur. And what we're going to do now is go straight through the white paper. On the white paper then we can see more images of the swarms. Again, like we mentioned earlier, 10,000 genetically modified bees on their way to Mars, created on the Avalanche blockchain. Beekeepers are going to be the only hope of controlling the AI and bringing the swarms together in the depth ecosystem. The beekeeper's role will basically be to collect bees and help them evolve, but we'll understand more shortly about that. And to be a beekeeper, you need to be a verified owner of a Swarms NFT. The art, as I'm sure you can see, is really unique. It's 5K pixel art. It's kind of nothing that I've seen before in this space, and it's been created by Delsol, and we'll go through more about his history and his experience shortly, but yeah, just to give you an overview now. And then regarding the genotypes, so to summarize it, there's 7 genotypes and there's 3 bee classes per genotype. So each bee will have a worker, a drone, and a queen or a king. So there's 3 of each type. So there can only be 21 Genesis or Exodus bees, should I say. Basically, the plot is that the AI went rogue, and what it's done is mixed up the genotype's parts, which has diluted the terraforming powers of the swarm. And in order to get the swarm's power back, the beekeepers, so the NFT owners, are going to have to find all the parts from the original genotypes and bring them back together. So you can see down here the names of the genotypes: Setin, Rajin, Hefra, Haduran. All of those, when you mint, are going to be mixed up into your bees. And what you're going to want to do is create a pure of a setting, for example, but we'll go through that shortly because that's what's called the Exodus quest. And just on genotypes, to see an idea of the art in more detail, you can see here you got Hefra, they're the builders, Rajin, storm voyagers. Yeah, really the art is what's drawn me to this project. It's quite unique. It's different to some of the games or DeFi projects that I've reviewed. This is purely a art focused project, but there is some interesting utility and lore behind these that the guys have been working on, and I'm interested to see how that plays out. Regarding the team then, it was founded by 3 key members, so Delsol, Ithaca and Fells, and their vision is to be dedicated to create something bigger than ourselves. Swarms is driven by tech and art, and they're building a community of beekeepers who will help Swarms evolve with the depth ecosystem. So just to quickly touch on the team members, Delsol, the creator, he's an academically trained artist who's designed and directed over 1,500 individual animations for clients such as Polygon, Veolia, Sanofi. So he's got real industry experience, and this project is a result of a decade of research into human culture, art and nature. So he's been dreaming about this world for years and sort of envisaging how Swarms is going to look and push the boundaries. Ithaca then is the mentor, full-time crypto investor, Web3 developer, found his first calling in the DeFi ecosystem. He's sort of a tech-driven individual and has an in-depth understanding of the space and is always making sure the project sticks to its vision and goals. And then you've got Fells, who's the guide. He's there to push the needle. He's a self-made entrepreneur. Career is in tech. He'll guide members of the community to help Swarm live up to its potential and all of these three are very, very active on Twitter and in the Discord. So that's, really good to see that community engagement. We're now going to look into the art and the artist in more detail. So it's Del Sol, who's the creator of all the art. We talked about that earlier. And this collection has been 10 years in the making. The vision then is for Swarms to be a place where consciousness grows in an alternative way, a space where we can connect and evolve. This part here I find particularly interesting, and if you've seen some of the art, you would have seen that the bees have unique tattoos on them, and what it says here is that collectively those tattoos tell the story of Del Sol's journey, discovering his evolving relationship to the human sight within the limits of human physicality. So yeah, it's just interesting that also these bees tell a personal story, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see in more detail what that exactly is. Finally then on to the technique and the technology. I don't pretend to be an expert, but this project uses a combination of academic painting techniques and technology tools that enabled Swarms to create 10,000 unique hand-drawn bees. These bees, like we said earlier, are going to be used in the foundation of the depth ecosystem. In his corporate world, Del Sol developed processes where art mixes with engineering, and you pair that craft with vivid logic, and then together Ithaca and Del Sol created a technology capable of assembling the complex world of Swarms. So the technology then that we're talking about is a generative collection builder that Ithaca's built, customized to bring to life the characteristics of Del Sol's vision. The bees are generated using an algorithm that is superior to what we could have ever imagined. The bees have complex traits that will go beyond interchangeable body parts, bringing generative art into the NFT space to a new level. And I think just to recap then on the art, this one in the bottom left hand corner is insane. I think if I'm not mistaken, that's a Haduran, and yeah, that's probably one of my favorite genotypes, to be honest. I think that looks really, really clean. To summarize then, before we delve into the roadmap, these are the things you need to know and you should know now from the video. Swarms is a highly collectible series of genetically modified bees living in the metaverse. They're more than just bees. This is the beginning of an entire universe named the depth ecosystem that we talked about. Swarms is an evolving collection. The team wants to create two things: fantastic art pieces that will live through time, and also a vibrant community that will be excited to collect them and join the various evolutive quests. And also Swarm aim to help bees in real life through content creation and actions to raise awareness to the importance of bees for the Earth's ecosystem. So it'll be interesting to see how they implement that. And then finally, what can you do with your bees? You can collect them, you can exchange them, you can participate in the quest that we're about to go through, and you can evolve them. The Exodus quest then, we talked about it earlier. Basically what it is when you mint a bee, you become a beekeeper and you're able to participate in the Exodus quest. And basically what the Exodus quest is a race to create the 21 Exodus bees. So there's only ever going to be 21 because there's 7 genotypes that I talked about earlier. So Haduran's one for an example. And within that genotype, there's 3 classes of bees. So there's a worker, a drone, and a queen. And each bee has 6 different parts. So like this example here, they've all got legs and wings, thorax, head and antenna, and an abdomen. So what will happen then during the Exodus quest is, say that you mint a bee, you get some Haduran worker parts, but you've only got 2. The quest then will be for you to look for the other 4. So you'd be scouring secondary market, you'd be buying and selling, perhaps if you've got other bees that you didn't want or didn't want to go for. And then as soon as you've got the 6 parts of the same class, of the same genotype, you can sacrifice your bee, and then that makes you then the Exodus holder. So not only are you going to digitally get the NFT and it's going to be on the blockchain, but you're also going to get a real life HD acrylic print So that's going to be really cool. And then also the Exodus bees, because they're the leaders of their genotypes, they're going to hold special powers in the Swarms universe. So it'll be really interesting to understand exactly what benefits they're going to have. And I think for me really is just trying to think about how quickly these Exodus bees are going to be created. Like, is it going to be on the first day that they're all done? I think that's really interesting. And I assume there's going to be like a web-based interface on the Swarms site where you connect your wallet, and that's the abyss of the depth where you can release them. But yeah, I think that's really interesting and something that's kind of not really been done before. Phase 2 is the evolutions. So the bees are going to get purer with each evolution. And what you're going to be able to do is evolve your bee in the lab. And what this evolution does basically is it brings scarcity and a deflationary aspect to swarms, because to evolve a bee you need to burn another one. And when you evolve a bee, there's two things that happens. The first thing that happens is the bee will become more pure within their dominant genotype, and in a certain sense the evolved bees to their third evolution are going to become closer to the Exodus because they're going to have more attributes inherited from their strongest genotype. And then the second thing is visually attributes are going to look different with each evolution. So bees that have evolved to the second evolution will look more robust than the first evolution, and then obviously the same for the third evolution. So they've used this kind of example of evolving Charmander to Charmeleon. The final part of evolutions then that we're going to go through is this really good graphic on the lab, how it works in practice, to really help us understand how we would do the activity. So basically, you need 4 Genesis bees to create 1 Genesis 3 bee. And what you do is you fuse 2 Genesis bees in step 1 to create 2 Genesis 2 bees. So you lose half there. And then what you do is you fuse the 2 Gen 2s to create 1 Gen 3. What this has meant in the life cycle is that you've gone from 4 Genesis bees to 1 Genesis 3 bee. So 75% of your bees have been burnt. And this is a really interesting mechanic, because potentially up to 75% of the collection could be burnt if everyone decided to evolve it. Obviously not everyone's going to, but it's really interesting that there's this deflationary aspects built in, and also people are going to be able to get involved with evolutions and not just the Exodus quest. So you could hold back your bees and not participate in the Exodus quest because you're more focused on evolving later on. Yeah, I think that adds a really interesting layer to this. The last thing from me then before I end the video is regarding the roles. So there's different Discord roles that they've got on their white paper. There's the Hive member, who gets access to a secret chamber channel in Discord and a 24-hour premium access. You got the beekeeper, so this is what we talked about earlier. When you're a verified bee owner, gives you access to giveaways. Currently the only people that are beekeepers are ones that have won giveaways, because obviously there's been no mint yet. There's OG keepers, who are the owners of the swarms in the hive. Everyone who gets a bee during mint is gonna be assigned this role. So if you mint a bee, you're gonna be an OG keeper. Then there's the alpha member. These are the core team, or people who are very knowledgeable in the project and are active, helping the team out in the Discord or creating information on Twitter, that sort of stuff. And then obviously you've got the mods. That's everything from me then. I'm going to end the video now. I hope you enjoyed it and feel more informed now about swarms. Obviously it's for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research. But yeah, just wanted to say again from me, thank you for the support. I'm really enjoying making these videos in the Avalanche ecosystem, and I've got lots more to bring you, and I think you're going to really enjoy some of the stuff as I develop more as a content creator. So yeah, appreciate the support. Of course, share it with your network. Let me know what you think in the comments, and yeah, I'll speak to you soon.